Hello, Astral Central from this year. I am the owner of Base Tools Corporation. And today I am going to answer most of your questions about your projects. But before we start, for those who don't know what Base Tool is, Base Tools Corporation is a small group of people that love creating high quality and fun experiences. And one of them is Wilson Atomic Research Site, which I know it has some funny intentional acronym. It's literally BD Wars, like I don't know, a Wars game. Anyways, I know that some of you are wondering what is going on with the map expansion update from Wilson Atomic Research Site, and why we haven't posted any sneak peek from it. But we will answer that question in a few minutes, since obviously if we do that right now, this presentation will only last like 5 minutes. So anyways, before we continue, I had like to give a warm welcome to two of my most incredible people behind everything we do. Please join me, welcome me, my amazing assistants, Ghastly and Nioghtrush. So yeah, I really thank Ghastly and Night for helping me on this presentation, which it's something that I really appreciate from both of you being here. Anyways, we are going to talk about what we are going to do on this presentation. Now Ghastly and Night are going to take over about the content that we will talking about.
Thanks, Tools. Alright, let's get straight to it. In today's keynote, we're going to cover a few key things. First off, Tools is going to talk about the history of base tools, how it all started, and the journey we've been on to get here. Then we're going to dive into the map expansion update and give you the scoop on what's new, some of the challenges we face and are facing while working on it, and how we think it'll make the game better. After that, we will talk about what we're working on right now, our current plans, and what is coming next. We are also going to talk about the future and share some ideas about where we're heading and what cool stuff we're hoping to bring you soon.
And to finish things off, we'll do a live question and answer session. That's where all of us will be here to answer any questions you have got, so please don't hold back. We're excited to hear what's on your mind. Conversation. Thank you.
So alright, we are now talking about Base Tools history right now. So Base Tools Corporation surged during the beginning of the pandemic in 2020 for fun purposes and for trying something new in my life. My journey with Roblox Studio started at the same time as I created Base Tools, which, to be honest, is a difficult thing to do. You don't have any previous knowledge about you want to start, and you want to start with a big project. And yeah, I must say that Pinewood Builders and Innovation Incorporated inspired me to start with this journey. And I'm really thankful to meet both of those groups. Without them, this group wouldn't exist. But returning to the point, I was originally the only person that worked on Base Tools back then, and I had a small group of friends that loved to play and test the group projects with me. Although they didn't know anything about development, they were a really big help for me, since they loved to share their ideas and suggestions with me, and I really enjoyed to include what they thought that could improve our roleplay sessions and small events. And that's how I quickly started to get better with Roblox Studio in general and improved my creativity and building skills. Everything was like this until I decided that it was time to do something bigger for Base Tools. And that's the part where I created one of my favorite projects called Base Tools Central Nuclear Fusion Complex. And yes, I'm aware that's a really long title. So this is the project which I consider that took part of most of my journey as a developer, and where I started to learn things faster than previous months. As you can see on this slide, there was a massive improvement, especially in visual stuff. During those months, I got inspired from groups like Cobalt Science, Techno Science, Groundwork Tech Research, and some others from this era of this career. Returning straight to the point, I used to get really good feedback and comments from other groups, which kept me motivated to continue working on this project. And yeah, after some time that I got those comments from people like from QS on other servers, I thought that it was time to do some small project that people could play, and where I could showcase my skills as a developer. And that project was Wilson Atomic Research Site. The development of this project was a new challenge for me, since I hadn't published any new project before, and I was a little worried if people will like it or not. But after all, I think that most of you liked it, right? Yeah, I know it still needs a big improvement, but for those who didn't really enjoy it a lot. But well, I got some incredible support from this, especially by Hip Innovators with his video, which got a decent amount of visits. And that made me feel so motivated to make a big update for the game. For this, I knew that I will need help for this one, since it will be a very exhaustive task for me to make it from my own. So I started to look for a dev team, where Knight decided to help me looking for people, and that's where most of them joined us. Like people like Canada Productions, Ghastly, and later on Zenith and Axel. And yeah, of course, STM will join our team. During this time, everything was going good in the development of the update until our affiliate Cosmic Science announced their award ceremony. And yeah, we decided to participate on it. We started doing good progress during the first week, since we only had to do a banner that would have been showing the scenario during the event. But after doing this, it was time to do the boot, that we will show in the event. I thought that it was going to be an easy task, but I didn't have any good ideas for it. After some work, it ended being looking a gas station looking boot, which of course I thought that nobody would like it, and I didn't like how it ended looking. So I decided to remake it with the help of Ghastly, Knight, and Canada, which this time the boot will look like an old theater from the 50s or 60s. Since I got inspired from Michael Jackson, this is it, a smooth criminal intro. And yeah, we expect to return to the update development after completing this boot and the banner, until Ghastly notified me that there was going to be an even more massive event happening in the community. And yeah, that event was the Astral Central from last year. And honestly, most of us were tired, including me, after working on the Cosmic boot, but we ended up deciding to make another boot for this event. For this event boot, we decided to include the Tools bot as an assistant for people that may visit this boot, which is basically the same thing that we did this year. And for this boot, we included the whole group history in there. This boot development was faster than the Cosmic one, since it only took us like 2 or 3 weeks, if I remember well. But the only thing that I hated from this boot was the elevator thing that we made, since it had a lot of breaking glitches when we were scripting it. And for finishing the group history segment for the Cosmic Sign Reflection Awards event, we won the Best Affiliate of the Year award, and for Astral Central 2023, we won the 4th place in the Best Boot category.
And that's how we conclude with the group history segment of the keynote. We tried to make everything as quick as possible since we still need to talk about the map expansion update and other important stuff. And here we go, Knight.
All right, so now we're diving into the map expansion update situation, a topic we know many of you have been eagerly waiting for. This update has been one of the most anticipated additions to our game, and today we want to address it with full transparency. First of all, we've decided to move the map expansion update content into another game, but hold on. Before you jump to conclusions, let me explain behind this tough decision and what it means for the future of. The first reason is something as we developers don't talk about: motivation. Working on the same project for such a long time can become draining, especially when it involves creating something as massive and this expansion. We're always striving to deliver exciting and innovative, and honestly, we've reached a point where it's hard to keep that spark alive, while staying true to our vision. The second reason revolves around we realized that smaller, more frequent updates would not only compensate for the long wait, but also allow us to keep the game fresh and engaging over. This approach lets us maintain your interest while giving us the opportunity to hear your feedback and ideas. We want you to feel like an active part of the game's evolution, and releasing smaller updates makes that possible. And now the last and most significant reason is the scope of the map expansion update itself. To put it simply, it grew into something much bigger than we ever intended. It wasn't just an update, became a complete overhaul of the game. We're talking about redesigned gameplay mechanics, improved model quality, entirely new features, and a world so expansive it felt like a different game altogether. And while this might sound crazy from a player's perspective, for us developers it became overwhelming. Creating something of this scale in a single update is incredibly challenging. It's like developing a whole new game. We had to take a few steps back and acknowledge that pushing ourselves to finish this could lead to burnout, and that's not the kind of energy we bring into. We completely understand that this might feel disappointing, especially after such long wait. Trust us, this wasn't an easy decision for us. But hear this out, moving the map expansion update content doesn't mean we're giving up on content back. In fact, we're taking a different approach, one that we believe will be better for both you and us. We're focusing on smaller and more manageable. We can ensure that the best parts of the map expansion update, some of the mechanics, visuals, and the gameplay, will still make their way into the original, just in a way that feels right for everyone. We want to make sure that every addition we bring to the game is polished, enjoyable, and worth the. So while the map expansion update we originally planned may not happen, we're not saying goodbye to the ideas, creativity that inspired. We're just embracing a different way to share them with you. Thank you.
Alright, so now we're going to cover the last important section of the keynote. We're going to talk about the future of base tools. First and most importantly, we want to announce a big decision that is going to shape our future as a group. After careful consideration and countless discussions, we have decided to move out of the sci-fi community in 2025. This means we'll no longer create reactor core games or participate in events like this one. In fact, this keynote is the final participation as Base Tools Corporation in a sci-fi community event. The reason we left the sci-fi community is because we feel like this game genre has already reached a point where there is not really anything new to offer and innovate with, and this clashes with our idea of always trying to bring out fresh and innovative things to our project. So that's why we decided on stepping into new places and finding the right territory where we can release projects that we have in mind. For this important transition, we'll create a new group called Base Tools Interactive. We will slowly be releasing the content from the map expansion update in a new game series called the Isotopia Project. These game series are going to be focused on the story of a nuclear and technology dedicated company where the player may discover their good and bad side with immersive and challenging experiences. The Isotopia projects will have unique features that will make them special between each other, mostly like the gameplay, the visual design, and we expect to release the following games, but we may change the list or scrap some of them. First, the Isotopia Project Decay, the Isotopia Project Thermality, the Isotopia Project Nexus, and the Isotopia Project Recover. By next year, we expect to release Thermality and Recover after moving on to Base Tools Interactive, which we might do in June or July. We must say that this isn't the only game we're going to work on after moving out of the community. We would also like to explore new game genres such as horror, story, adventure, survival, and more. Most of these games will be small, depending on the amount of support we get as Base Tools Interactive. We would also like to host events like developer competition, community member awards, art competitions, and many more, but nothing as big as this, where we would really like to have the community to be a part of them. However, with the time we have left in the sci-fi community, this is what we're going to do. We are going to update the Wilson Atomic Research site until we think that there's not really much left to do. We don't have a date for this, but it might be around March or April when we end BT Wars' support. These updates will upgrade the gameplay design, improve the game's visuals and style, and we will try to make it a fun and enjoyable game. For the next year, we have been thinking on remastering and releasing our old project, Central Nuclear Fusion Complex, in a playable state, since the development of it was never completed and Mr. Tools really wants to publish this project before our retirement. And lastly, we're going to archive all Base Tools Corporation projects in a single game, the Base Tools Corporation Historical Hub. This game will take the place of the Base Tools Donation Hub game in our old Roblox group page. This game will be a general archive of our old projects and also have a museum for everything we've done in the past, and will explain all our previous eras of development. This is what we are going to offer to the sci-fi community. Beyond this, there aren't going to be any new features for those games besides bug fixing updates. We invite you to join us on this new journey when we move out of the sci-fi community, which we know might not be the same sort of. We might not make games that are the same sort of games you play, but we ask you to give us and the games a chance. Now we're going to do the Q&A.
All right, so now we are going to do the question and answer section of our keynote. So please, we ask you to send us your questions about Base Tools Corporation. All right. All right. First question: Is shutdown gonna be made harder, and will controls complexity gonna increase in the future updates? Yeah, we're going to increase reactor controls on the next update after Christmas one. We're expecting to release an update where we improve our reactor controls and everything related to reactor events and reactor stuff. All
Yeah,
right,
you ready? Okay, so do you have plans to add some sort of warhead or contingency plan to the game? I think it would be interesting to see something of that asset in the style of Base Tools. No, we don't have plans to add a warhead or anything like that, since we're trying to not go with the conventional norms like that. Like, since we find that a bit boring in gameplay design wise.
All right, I'm gonna answer this question. Lore-wise, when do BD Wars and the other games take place? Also, is it going to be standard Big Evil Monopoly lore or something else? Well, about BD Wars, it's set in 2003, and the other game is set in 2070. And about lore, we are thinking on doing a sort of Big Evil Monopoly, but not really like that. Like, I mean, with this, I mean that it's going to be kinda like a Big Evil Monopoly mixed with some good side of the company lore. Right. Next,
All right.
could
We
you
have
answer next?
Knight answer one.
Yeah. Knight, could you answer this one?
The name one.
Yes.
Well, the name, I'm not really sure. I think with the name one, you should definitely ask Tools, because he's the big mastermind behind the name idea.
All right. Okay, so to be honest, okay, I'm gonna read this question first. Was the name Base Tools based off something like inspiration or it was a creative name idea? So about the Base Tools name, where it came from, it's personally a creative name idea. Since to be honest, when I was thinking about creating this group, I was with my dad discussing about our Roblox group name. Yeah, it sounds kind of funny, but it was like that. All right, next question.
Yeah.
Right, you want to
What's your
answer
guys'
this, Knight?
plan for? Yeah, what's your plan? What's your guys' plan for the Base Tools title long term?
Wait, we missed one.
Long-term plan. Which one? Where?
Tokens. I mean, sorry, not anarchies. Well, are you guys turning into BBI 2.0? No. All right, you can go to the next one, Knight.
Yeah. So that from Token one, what's your guys' plan for the Base Tools title long term? Yeah, as we said, we plan on making a new group and doing just new stuff, just not in the sci-fi community itself, or just not doing core games anymore. Because our main thought behind it is just that with all the new core games that are popping up, the main big idea behind it, we want to try some new stuff.
Can really hear you.
All right, I'm answering Nawal's question. At some point, they will implement a type of translation within the game. Yeah, we might implement some official translation from the game because the automatic translation Roblox system is bad, you know. All right, next question.
All right. Unfortunately, I am actually going to have to cut you off here. We've got to get prepared for our special event, which is starting, I believe, in 5 minutes. Thank you all for your time. You guys did a great job, and again, you.
Right. Before ending this, we may answer those questions in a video with Knight, in an interview. But this is going to be later uploaded in our YouTube channel. Anyways, now returning back to our keynote, that's basically everything from Bezos Corporation. It has been a really long journey where we have learned a lot of things as a team, a journey full of challenges during the development and management of our group, a journey with very good memories with people, and considerable good personal achievements for me. But it's almost time to finally end this journey and start with a new one. And for concluding this keynote, I must thank Astra for giving us the chance to do this presentation, and everyone who has inspired me and supported me during this really long time working on this group. This is something that I really appreciate from you all. Thank you.